So the iPhone 16 Pro is right around the corner, but buying it could be a big mistake. Let me explain. I have really enjoyed my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and it has even come with a handful of features that actually made a difference for once. But it wasn't perfect, and based on the newest leaks that we have right now, the iPhone 16 Pro is not going to fix it. So in this video, let's explore 7 reasons why you should not upgrade this year, unless you're doing it for one very specific reason. The iPhone 16, by all accounts, is going to be a transition phone, a bridge or a placeholder, whatever you want to call it. And that's because the big changes are expected for next year, where Apple is rumored to deliver a phone that is even more powerful and, of course, significantly more expensive than even the Pro Max lineup. And it currently goes by the name iPhone 17 Slim, but that's unlikely to be its real name. So buying an iPhone 16 Pro this year is a guaranteed way to regret it next year. But if you can wait just 1 year, you can expect the next iPhone to be a lot better. We will learn more about this upcoming version in the next months, and I'll of course keep you updated, but only if you hit subscribe. Of course, there have already been a lot of changes recently. Some of them were bigger than others. If you are a creator like me, then the big upgrades came last year with the iPhone 15 Pro, not this year with the 16 Pro. And the first one of these features was USB-C, which not only lets you charge your iPhone with all the cables that you already have at home instead of these lightning cables, which are finally going away, but it also allows you to very easily attach external devices like keyboards, hard drives, SSD, card readers from your camera, which has been really useful to creators like us. Some people are even building full camera setups with a lot of different iPhone accessories that can sometimes rival proper cameras, which is nuts. And then the second feature was Apple Lock. And depending on how you edit your videos or produce them in general, you're either over the moon that this exists, or you don't even know what it does. But here's what you need to know. It basically turned our iPhones into incredibly capable video cameras that can sometimes, again, even rival the big boys. But both of these features are already here, so why would you upgrade? And we can see the exact same thing with the design, because the iPhone 12 Pro almost 4 years ago introduced this new squarish look that we now know. And last year with the iPhone 15 Pro, we got the change to titanium, which, let me get this out of the way, it was a really nice upgrade and I love how it looks, but it's unnoticeable in everyday use if you use a case like almost everyone. And here's the deal. The iPhone 16 Pro looks almost identical to the iPhone 15 Pro, with the exception of a just minimally larger display and a new capture button to take photos faster. And then the newest big design feature, I'm kidding, because that's literally it. No more design changes are expected. And just like this new capture button this year, Apple introduced the action button last year. It was supposed to be this huge deal that allows us to do a lot of things, but a year in, most people agree that they just don't really use it. So design-wise, there was just no major change since the iPhone 12 Pro. And again, that was 4 years ago. But there is of course one thing that the iPhone 16 Pro is going to be better at than any other iPhone ever before. Because the biggest rumored upgrade is not the new titanium color, which by the way looks totally sick and that's totally going to be my color. It is also not the new displays or the new capture button. It is of course going to be Apple Intelligence. But here's the thing. I've had access to Apple Intelligence for quite a while now, and while there are some cool new things here and there, the vast majority of features that are actually useful aren't coming to the iPhone anytime soon. Not even the iPhone 16 Pro. These new writing tools, as Apple calls them, they are clunky, slow, and honestly kind of hidden away, at least on an iPhone and an iPad. I imagine that on the Mac, they will be a lot more useful. And the new features that we really want, like the custom emoji generation and the new Siri, they are not expected until much later. Most of these features may not come before March 2025 or even later. And while Apple will surely surprise us in their keynote next week, it is clear that they are going to have a very hard time differentiating and convincing us that the iPhone 16 Pro is significantly better than the iPhone 15 Pro. But wait, there are 3 more reasons why you really shouldn't upgrade this year. And one of these reasons is the camera upgrades, or rather the lack thereof. The iPhone cameras do improve every year, there's no doubt about it. But unless you're a video professional or content creator that needs the best of the best, the cameras, especially on the Pro models, have been extremely good for really quite some time now. The iPhone 15 Pro got significantly better in some areas, specifically in terms of megapixels, external recording, and low light performance. Plus, the iPhone 15 Pro Max specifically got an updated zoom lens with 5 times magnification, which I have used a lot. And once I have the iPhone 16 Pro Max in my hand, I will give you a detailed comparison between the 15 and the 16 Pro Max, so make sure to subscribe for that. But honestly, filming on this thing is still so frustrating sometimes, and that's mainly because of one big issue. And that is overheating. Because if you have ever tried to use your phone in summer or in direct sunlight, you know exactly what I mean. First, your iPhone dims its screen, forcibly, so you cannot even make it brighter, even if you try to slide up the brightness. And then it starts to rapidly lose battery, and trying to charge it even leads to an actual overheating warning, asking you to cool down your iPhone before you can even use it again. And by the way, as much as I dislike Android, this has never happened to me on a Google Pixel or a Samsung Galaxy phone. So I really hope that Apple will improve this soon, because it makes the iPhone useless if I'm outside. I should say that Apple is rumored to use a new thermal design that may help overheating, but the same thing was said last year, and the iPhone 15 Pro Max has literally made zero difference for me. At least the iPhone 16 Pros will get slightly better batteries though, about 5% on the Pro Max and about 10% on the Pro. What does make a difference for a lot of people though is the price. And this is probably the #1 reason why you shouldn't upgrade. The iPhone 16 Pro is expected to retail for the same price as the iPhone 15 Pro, with the emphasis on retail price. Because the 15 Pro is already available with heavy discounts, offering much better value for what looks to be a very similar phone. And this is even more true if you're considering an iPhone 14, 13 or 12 Pro, which you can now buy for fractions of a price of the 15 or 16 Pro. And all of these phones are future-proof for 3, 4, 5 years to come. So you can save as much as $600, $700 or even $1,000 depending on what model you buy. So what is the one reason that you may want to upgrade despite all these very good reasons? Well, every year Apple makes some very specific changes. And for the majority of people, it feels like these are not real upgrades at all. You see it under every YouTube video. It's like, oh, Apple lost innovation, blah, blah, blah. Some of these specific features are really important to some people. For example, last year Apple introduced Apple Log, which to the majority of people is useless, but video professionals and content creators, for us, it was a game changer. We love that Apple did that. We would have upgraded if this was the only feature new to the iPhone 15 Pro. But the majority of people just didn't care because it wasn't a feature for them. The iPhone 16 Pro will have some of these very specific features too. And if they make a difference in your day, for your life, and how you use your iPhone, then go for it and don't let anyone convince you otherwise. For example, you will be able to record spatial content in 4K, which is basically 3D video for the Apple Vision Pro. For most people, this will be completely useless. But you may have a headset at home, like I do, and for us it may matter. Or maybe you want one of the new AI features that will be locked to the iPhone 16 Pro and have yet to be announced next week. And I promise you, Apple will have a bunch of them because they are a major reason to upgrade this year. But if you're still unsure about the iPhone 16 Pro, then watch this video next where I show you all the leaks.